So there's a million different technique issues that someone might have in the squat, bench press, deadlift. So I'm gonna like outline a couple for each of them, but really, if you want more in depth, I've written a bunch on my site. But like, generally speaking, for the squat, number one, I think the major issue that a lot of people overlook is bar placement. And I see this with a lot of lifters who I work with online who are just getting into this. They keep the bar way too high up on their neck, right in their cervical spine. And they do that because the bar on their back is a little bit uncomfortable. It hurts. But when it's on your back, it's gonna be safer for your spine. It's gonna be safer in general. You put it up on your neck, that's when you're really getting into a dangerous range. So keep the bar on like lower than the shoulders. Like, you don't want it on the neck, like on the top of the shoulders or maybe even mid back. And this brings up the whole discussion, well, what's better, high bar or low bar? It's this whole separate discussion. I have a whole YouTube video on that if you want to look it up on YouTube, just called High Bar, Low Bar, Syatt Fitness. But don't want the bar too high, and also obviously you don't want your knees caving in, you don't want your heels coming up off the floor. These are all really important squat ones. If we're going to talk bench press, you always want your elbows and your wrist in the bar in one line. So a lot of people, especially in the last 10 years, there's been a big movement towards tucking your elbows. And of course, the fitness industry runs on a pendulum, so people here tuck the elbows and then they go elbows to the sides of their torso, and it's like they way overdo it. The fitness industry is like either all this or all that. It's like this is the best or this is the worst. There's no like in middle ground or in between. So no matter what you do, no matter where your hand placement is, wide or narrow, whatever, your elbows and wrist and bar always have to be in one line for the best force transfer. Another really common technique issue with the bench press is people don't reach for the bar with their chest. And basically what that means, if you can visualize it, is as people are lowering the bar to their chest stays flat. And what that is actually a little bit dangerous for the shoulders, because a lot of times you'll see the front of the shoulder roll forward. What you want to try and do is, as you lower the bar towards your chest, is reach for the bar with it, and it's going to create a little bit of an arch in your lower back. It's okay, it's not excessive, but that little bit of an arch and that extra reach will reduce the range of motion, and it will actually spare your shoulders as well. And then for the deadlift, man, like talking sumo or conventional, there's a million different issues. Let's see, I would say number one, regardless of sumo or conventional, is not bracing your abs properly. A lot of people will initiate a deadlift with completely empty stomach, like they aren't breathing and they haven't taken a big breath in. When you start the deadlift, you have to take a massive breath in through your nose and your mouth, squeeze your abs really tight, and then initiate the lift. If you're trying to do that, if you're trying to like deadlift without a big breath of air and bracing the abs, you're going to hurt your back 100%. So that's number one, always big breath. Number two is jerking the bar off the ground. A lot of people with light weight, they're really good at being slow and methodical with it. As the weight gets heavier, they try and jerk the bar off because they're like sort of scared they're not gonna be able to get the bar off the ground. And that's another way to just jack your back up. And then let's do one more. Oh, another one for the deadlift is a lot of people will shrug. They're gonna shrug their shoulders towards their ears, which is a big mistake. Number one, it can screw with your traps in your neck. Number two is it increases the range of motion, and it's gonna make it much harder than it actually has to be. When you're deadlifting, you want to think about keeping your arms as long as possible and your shoulders down and away from your ears.